What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim bedded up. We got the 68 El Camino back on the lift. Got the 9-inch rear end. Them buckets are coming off. Super drop boxes are going on there. There's that ladder bar cross member right there, which is gonna be going up underneath here. From here across to here. So I gotta make it a little low on this side due to their fuel setup. A little bit down. But then I can come off of there, go to here, piece of tube here, like this. So then it'll be a tube in between here. And then we're gonna come up here to the package tray, or the upper control arm mount. Boom. This bar I'll be able to keep straight into here. I can probably get up into here instead of being on the bottom, be here. But it just strengthens up all this more due to, the frame notch. Like I said, I did not frame notch this. I did not tub this, but the frame notch is plated. I mean, it's overlapped on this. But anyways, so get that on there, that on there. So that's what I'm starting on. But we have the 9-inch. We have the anti-roll right there against the tires. We have the ladder bar cross member. We have the 9-inch axles. We have the cross brace. We have the anti-roll kit. We have the control arm bolts, the control arms, the lower mounts, the super drop boxes. Here, so I'll get everything set up. We got the Viking shock. We got the Viking springs. So this is what I'm cracking on this El Camino 24 by 12, 13 inches overall, 10-inch lips. Boom. Pretty clean car. Got California plates on it, so must have been in California. But yeah, so this is day one, which is May, what is today, May 16th? I think it's May 16th today, Monday. And the work begins. So let me get this cross member fabbed up and get it on there. Be back in a minute. More on the 68 Elco. Them 24s by 12, 10-inch lip, 13 inches overall. Billet specialties. Got the ladder bar cross member all welded in it. Boom. Got the little circles on here, same tube, boom. Now a piece of 1 5/8 will come from here to here, and then from here up to the upper deck, boom, tie that together. Same thing on that side. But these are fully welded in. Now you can see that I changed the wire in the machine, and you can see, obviously that's where I tacked it. It's not a dip, it's just colored right there. Burn. But anyway, you can see how much better it welded. Obviously, way better. Big difference. Big difference. So you guys thought that was a rough spot, didn't you? So yeah, ladder bar cross member is in there. I have, well, anyways, on to the next step, putting these tubes in here, getting a 9-inch up in there, cutting those quick performance boxes off of there, like I said, and putting those super drops on there. Get those super drops on there, boom. I'll be able to set up the coilover mount on the back of it. But yes, streetcar headquarters, Indiana. They're the ones that put all this together. They're the ones building the car. I'm just building the rear suspension, rear end setup. But yes. All right, y'all. Be back in a minute. All right, all right, all right. Oh yeah. Got 2 more bars up in it. Fully welded them in to the tray, like I said, boom. It's still a little warm around there. This side should be warm. As you can see, the welder's welding 10 times better. Now I'm gonna put these 2 bars in. I'm gonna go figure out where I want this one to be, and then I'll measure from side, boom, to get where I'm gonna put that bar at on that side. So that one's in. A little bit of slag right here to clean up. Held on there pretty good. But yeah, tying it together. Car is level. Front is level on the lift. Back is level on the lift. You know, got, what was that, a 4 foot level right there. Went across the frame rails, a couple different spots, front to back, to make sure the car is level. Back to front right now, it doesn't really matter. If you try to run slalom off of that, like the front of the car and the back of the car. But my center line and stuff like that, boom. And all measurements off the frame. As long as the frame's level side to side, I can pull measurements. But yeah, I'm trying to get this stuff situated so that way as I put things together, I don't have to retake things apart. I can get these other 2 bars in here. I can clean up this area, put a little paint on it, clean up in here. I can go ahead and take this brake line off for them. I gotta put the cross brace in here, and I'm gonna position the rear end in here first with the lower control arm, or upper control arms and lowers. Now I'll put the lowers on the stock area for now, just so I can set where I'm gonna put the upper cross member. You know, I'm probably gonna have to trim part of that bracket off of there to put the bar. I'm thinking the bar needs to go somewhere in here, but it can go back a little bit. But as you can see, the farther back you go, it's gonna go lower. We don't want it to go lower. We want to be at the high point. So it's probably gonna end up, I'll end up trimming this off and put the bar right in here, or maybe all the way up, right where the shocks go. So that's a good indication on the rear end. But it's all custom. On to the next step. Bankroll Tim. Be right back. All right, y'all. 68 El Camino. Got that good suspension, like I said. Street Car Headquarters. It's their build. Boom. Got that ladder bar cross member in there. Got the tubes in there. Got the circles around the bolt hole. Boom. Tied into the upper area. So y'all can see that. I just took the drill with the wire head brush and got in there. I didn't have to do it to this one, but I'm gonna paint in there and paint the bars. No sense me not painting in there. You know what I'm saying? Up in there. I can get that painted, then I can get the upper control arms in it and hang the rear end. So I'm about to get this painted. All these tubes, all this. I still gotta figure out where I'm gonna put that brace, but like I said, that's when I'll put that up in here, set ride height, and I'll figure out the best place to put that cross brace. Leave a little bit of room, so I'll probably angle back just a little bit in case later on they want to put a 26 on here. You know, then the rear end moves back another inch, and then the coilovers will be straight up. So they can be on a little bit of an angle, you know, front to back, and then later on with the adjustment of the rear end movement, you know, I think about all that stuff as I'm building these things. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty damn fat. Look, that's 10 inches of lip. Got some dirt on it. Look how fat it is. It's 13 inches. From that back lip of that rim, right there, to the front lip of that rim. It's 13 inches overall. By 12 is 13 inches overall. Remember that. By 12 is 13 inches overall. This is your lip size. From the front of your rim to there. Okay? It's your lip size, and this one's 10 inches. So all you guys, when I ask, what size lip do you have? You guys would be like, oh, I got a 26 by 10, so 10 inch lip. No, 7 inch lip by 10 would be 11 overall. These are numbers I need to know, so that way I can figure out the exact. But yeah, always trying to teach. And I learn from people, I learn from a lot of things. So, all right, let me get back to it. I'll put some paint on here and get back at you guys. Give me a minute. And I'm back. All right, y'all, check it out. So I got the rear end welded up in there. So I squared it all up where I wanted it to be, where I want my ride height to be. Welded the tubes in here. Now the rear end's locked. The uppers are totally where they need to be, the length of them, everything. And of course, cut the box off. Boom. I gotta clean all this up, get it all off here. Rear end will be getting the ends clocked. Okay, so this is 9-inch, new style big Ford bolt circle right here. Takes the big 9-inch bearing, boom. So it needs to be clocked, because if I was to put it together, the caliper would be right here by the frame. So we can't have that, so we need the caliper down here. So I'm gonna clock these ends. Well, I was waiting for the brake kit to get here. The brake kit came, and if you see that bolt circle right there, that bolt circle is 10 bolt, 12 bolt, not 9-inch. The axles right there, 9-inch. So we figured out the business. Obviously this kit was sent, and you can see the center board is really big. That's where the 9-inch bearing goes through. So the one piece, these are the retainer plates that hold the axle in through here, you know. The one piece we did not have, which I have a set of on the shelf, is a Chevy 10 bolt, 12 bolt end that takes the 9-inch bearing. So now I will be cutting these ends off anyways to clock them. Run my bar through there, narrow it, or you know, the narrowing bar to keep everything square. So now this one will be put back in its place, but it will be clocked down. So then we're changing from the 9-inch bolt circle to the 10 bolt, 12 bolt circle. The bearing, of course, that's what this is made for the 9-inch axle to go right in here. So makes it, you know, 9-inch style, bolt and axle style, boom, real business. All this happens in my shop because I'm a custom fabricator. I cut all this stuff off, figure out the job on hand, and if I run into problems, I figure out, boom, how to get it to work without major problems. So again, this box, super drop box on here, we want it to be, which you can see I got that mark right there, so that will be center of this. This is like 2 1/4 wide, so it'll be 1 1/8. I'll have the mark, you know, on here, but that's where I want it to be. So that would be center. You can see the frame will come down, everything will be clear there. The brackets will be welded onto the back of here. My dog's over there barking, growling. Envy, Envy, you old girl. Let the people that used to watch all the time see that you're still around. 9 1/2 years old. Getting ornery, huh? She's a bully. She's a very expensive dog, but she's good. Envy, baby. So, anyways, all the bars are in there that I wanted. Everything's painted, boom. Like I said, painted the upper tray, all that. I had to clean it up with the drill, painted it all, boom. Like I said, this is tied into here. This is tied into here. See how the bolt is in there? This is tied into here, boom, triangulated, boom, boom, boom. This torque box and this under pressure. Not saying that this is gonna be a race car going to the track, but if you wanted to go to the track, it'll be fine. It's not gonna bend these up into the floor, twist it, and mess everything up. Once again, I did not frame notch or tub this car. It was previously like that. And I might have the story a little different, but it don't matter. In here, working on this. It's Friday. I had to go pick up a few sets of axles. I got this rear end and the Camino to fab up, this 12 bolt to fab up, 96 and Palace S rear end to fab up, 96 and Palace S rear end to fab up, 9-inch to fab up. And then I had a job come back because the axles were too tight and it was keeping the true track locked, so it was making a noise. So Took the axles out, ordered a set of motor axles, but we're gonna go ahead and make it a little shorter. I'm a fabricator. I fabricate. That's why all this stuff is going down in my shop. That's why I have stuff like this in my shop. Loose stuff like this, strips like that, tubing, a mess. But yes, so basic feature on this is this El Camino 68 and what I'm doing to it. So the brake kit is right there. So there is brake kits out there if you wanted to put 10 bolt, 12 bolt end on your 9-inch and use the 10 bolt, 12 bolt brakes on a 9-inch. You just got to change the ends. So you can even order it. Like I said, you could order the housing with the 10 bolt, 12 bolt end for the 9-inch bearing and retainer plates. So black 4-piston calipers going on the back. But yes, slowly but surely, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out exactly, like I said, figured out that mark, boom. It has the coilover. Got these, 2 per side. So I'll be taking these and cutting them off. And these will be getting welded to the housing. So we can use this, set up on there, and the shock will bolt to here. Just a nicer, better, more mean looking, aggressive looking setup. Nicer. And of course we got the 10s. We're gonna go with 10s on here. 10s meaning the shock has a C217 shock. So it's only 10 inches. Whatever, the spring is a 10 DP 250. So that way the back, because as you can see, not that much travel. And the area in which we're working in, when I put the cross brace across here, a 12-inch would probably be just too far down. And we don't want to be too far down. I mean, the box is going to be down, but we want to be right on the mid to lower part of the box. We don't want to be longer than the box with a 12-inch coilover. So different length coilovers out there. Like I said, this is custom. It's custom. That's why there's a K in my business name of Bedded Up Custom. Customs, because K is custom. But yes, more on the El Camino. I'm gonna cut this up, grind it. Got in there first with just the Sawzall. You can see the Sawzall blade, and just cut it off. Left a piece on there. I'm gonna try to cut the other side the same. Maybe these pieces will come in handy later for something, I don't know. Or they'll just become scrap pieces that I'll cut and use to fab some other shit. Because, once again, I'm a custom fabricator. I'm not a parts changer. I love saying that. But all right, y'all, I'll be back with more on the Elko. And I'm back. All right, y'all. As you can see, I finished cutting off the stock buckets that were on here. And now I got the super drops. All measured out, all tagged in, all in the spot that I wanted them. So you can see they're moved in. So from that mark back here, we're still on just a little bit of an angle, which is all we need. So I'm 4.5 inches from outside of here to center of here, because that's gonna keep my box in the same spot as this side. So 4.5 inches, boom. The degree on both sides is the same, just under 90 degrees, which, as you notice, the pinion angle, well, probably can't see that good in here. Pinion angle is negative a little bit, boom, so that's in a good spot. The arm location right now for this car, how it's gonna sit, that's fine. The next step I'm gonna do is, well, since I got these tagged in all 4 corners, I can go ahead, that's on the inside. I can go ahead and buzz these up on both sides. But I'm gonna put the coilover set up Put the coilover set up, and believe that I got the heat on because it's pretty chilly. So now it's gonna turn on. But anyways, like I was saying, how we're gonna change the end. So when I go to cut the end off, how I cut into that when I was cutting the bracket off, doesn't matter. I'll measure, get my exact to here, but everything as of right now is being built off here because of how the center of the rear end. You can't go off of this because on a 9-inch, those are different. Shorter on this side than this side. But trying to get as much done on this El Camino as possible to get it in and out and on to the next, which, like I was saying, I got all those rear ends over there I gotta do. Picked up the axles, I got studs, I got everything. Sideways Productions rear ends over there, a couple of other out-of-town rear ends over there, so I gotta knock those out. And I gotta put the ladder bar cross member on the 81 Mondale. Ladder bar cross member on there, get the rear end out of it and start bracing it up. And I have the axles for it, and I have the brakes for it, so I can get a majority of stuff done to the back of that car. But the main fabrication on that car is the rear end setup, or the tubs and frame. But staying on this El Camino, not too much more to go. Again, I did not do the tub work. The tubs and the frame notch are not mine. But this rear end is mine. So I'll do my brace, which my brace will come off this corner. It'll curve up to the bottom of the housing and go to this corner. Like I've been doing them, they look good like that. That's what I'm gonna do. So next step on this, as I was saying, is I'm gonna go ahead and buzz these on, both sides. Get the coilover bracketry set up here. Once it's set up on here, which I'll keep it closer to this side, not that there's gonna be that much room, but I'll keep it closer to the edge on this side. Then I'm gonna figure out exactly where the cross brace is gonna go. And I was thinking right with this cut off, so I'm gonna cut this, you know, across there and cut it off the frame, get it out of my way, and then a cross brace will be right in this area across. Then the tabs, well, I might go back a little bit because I can come off the front of the tabs off the front of it, but we're gonna see exactly where it's gonna end up. I don't want to end up with, I mean, this is basically ride height, and that's pretty damn low. Like I said, that's 3 inches of that wheel right there, 24 by 12, 13 overall. It's got a pretty, let's see, got a pretty fat tire on it. Let's check out the tire size, y'all. 295 30 24. So 295 30 24, kind of fat, but it curves into the top, which is good. That's going to help us with this outer tub area. And I won't know if I got to do something with that until I get it sitting down on the ground. All my measurements come out pretty tight, so we'll see how it goes once the brakes are on there and slide the wheel up on there. But back to what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying. But rear end, like I said, the rear end is totally adjusted right there. That's where it's going to be. Side to side is good. Cutting these ends off, putting the Chevy ends on there. Still a bolt-in axle, still a 9-inch bearing. Custom. But all right, y'all. I guess from this angle, I guess I can show you from this angle, you know. The bars up in there. I guess the light's gonna be too bright. But I'm gonna get that on there, get the coilovers put together, set the coilover up in here, and figure out where I'm gonna cut and put the cross brace. So yeah, I'll be back. And I'm back on a 68 El Camino from Streetcar Headquarters. Sent it to me to do this rear end setup. I'm back on it. So, as you can see, the brackets are on there, fully welded, burned in pretty nice. a little bit of gap and just followed it down. Again, I'll show all my work. I'm not perfect. I got the cross brace up in there, so I cut out the pieces where I said I was going to cut it out, which stock shock bolted in. About to get this upper cross brace welded in. There's that side. Boom. This will probably where ride height is, but for me to set the shock, I'm gonna go down to here to be able to place the shock in here so I can get my shock tabs up here exactly where I want them with the shock fully extended. There's that side. The very last thing I'm going to do obviously is cut these ends off, put the other ends on, and clock them down. So the caliper, I double checked all this clearance, so with this end being clocked down, then the caliper will be able to bolt right on. It's a 4-piston caliper for the back. It's going to be very close to the frame here, but this frame notch goes in towards the back and towards the front, so the wheel will have plenty of clearance. That right there where center is of the rear end to there, it's with 3 inches of the wheel tucked in there. So basically is what I'm doing is that's ride height. So I'd be able to ride 3 inches of that wheel stuffed in there. So you can see how the front right now, when it was on the ground, I think the top of tire was right with the bottom. Maybe an inch of gap. And in the back, the wheel well is a little bit lower, but it should be able to be in there 3 inches without a problem. There I go. Tripped over the couch that time. But yeah. On to the next step of this. When it sits down, it should look good. But yeah, let me get this cross member welded up in there, and then I'll get the shocks on here and weld that up. And then I'm gonna scope out for the anti-roll, which this one looks like the anti-roll is gonna come more off the bottom and go towards the front and come off. Well, the tabs will be welded to the front. But then again, I could probably place it back a little bit, but when I get to that, I'll figure that out. And it'll be on here. So I'll be back in a minute. And as you can see, moving right along with this setup on the 68 El Camino on them fat boys. All right, y'all, be right back. All right, I'm back. Look at that. Looks pretty freaking cool, doesn't it? All right, got the cross brace welded up in there. I'm gonna clean this up some more than I did. But anyway, that bracket is tacked on, like I was saying. I was gonna move this down, boom, boom. So this car right now is 3 inches of that wheel in the wheel well. So the shock, no matter where I set the spring, basically it's a 10-inch shock. Spring's 10 inches, so the collar would turn up to 10, make it 10 inches in between. The shock will still squish about 2.5 inches. So that would be the 3 inches is already tucking, plus another 2.5. So 5.5 inches of tuck all the way down. Will it tuck that far? Possibly, but look at the upper control arms to here. There's only about 3 inches right there. So if ride height was at the 2 more inches down, then you'd be bang, 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 bang. These uppers would be hitting us. So you couldn't go that low. So the 3 inches where I'm at, but I had to put the shock in at this height. This is all the way stretched out, and attack the brackets there. That's what, so basically I'm straight off the back. The curved sides at the bottom. So they're tacked in. My width, I could have winched a little bit in more, left to right, so I could have been in more. I wanted the shock to be on a little bit of an angle, so I already got that. But if I went in just a little bit more, the arm would have been, the lower control arm would have been a little straighter than that. As in, I mean, it's straight, it would have been in a little bit. So it would have probably been tight, you know what I'm saying? You can see that front bushing is kind of tight to the inside edge. But I mean, it's still fine. It'll ride up and down fine right there. But, so now, I have a lug nut up here just to set it. That can come back off. So as this comes off, the bolt has to come out that side. So when it goes together, you know, the nut will fit in between here. It'll tighten up. But that will be cleaned up and painted. Of course, the cross brace will be painted. That shock's in there. I'm putting the other shock together right now. I already moved this down. I'm gonna get that set up in there. Height-wise, from that cross brace being level, the car's level, then measured from there, I measured to the bottom hole, was 15 1/8 both sides, so that tells me the rear end, and all I've got set up here is square with that tube up there. So height-wise is there. If there's a discrepancy in the quarters, which I haven't seen yet on this car, but everything's going pretty smooth right now on the work that I am doing. So I'm gonna get this other side tacked in, and then I am going to mess with this anti-roll, see exactly where I'm gonna set it. But all right, I'll be back. 68 El Camino. 68 El Camino. Coilovers, 9-inch. Fabricated work, custom fabrication work. But all right, I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I'm back. Boom, as you can see, cross braces up in there. Anti-roll tabs are all on there. Coilover brackets are on there. I put this brace on the bottom, boom. Kind of like a signature thing I've been doing recently. The sides, I put these gussets in here so it welds it all together, boom, so it keeps it solid here. I know it's on the bottom corner, but I could probably put another gusset here or something, but I think that's fine. Weld it to the center. A little bit of dirt in there, but got both sides welded there. Anti-roll tabs are on there. Like I said, now I gotta get these ends cut off and get the other ends on there. I got some paint today. I'm gonna use a satin black, and if it comes out a little bit less shinier than that flat on this, I'll put some clear on it. It's been a pain in the ass to get paint, and then once I get a new paint figured out, then it's harder to get that, or just as hard, so I don't know. But I'm gonna get these ends cut off right now. My measurement obviously is 4.5 from here to that center line is 4.5. Well, boom, cut this off, put the other one on there, which again, clock it down. I gotta put the bar in it with the 9-inch center peg that goes in with the bar, the puck, so that way it makes everything go back on square. So, and yes, for anybody that doesn't understand, this is just a tube that's 4 and 3/4, I believe this is. Both of them from that flat spot to the top of housing. Car's level, side to side, rear end's level, side to side, boom, boom, that's in there, welded in there, holds it all up so I can do all the work to it at ride height. Again, I did not do the tubs, I did not do the frame rods. But as you can see, fabbing it up. 68 El Camino. All right, y'all, let me get the ends cut off and I'll hit you back. Bet it up, bet it up, bet it up. All right, y'all, as you can see, the rear end is, got rid of the 9-inch ends, put the 10 bolt, 12 bolt end on, got the weld on there, boom. Still takes 9-inch bearing. I'm gonna blow out the housing. I got the pig bolts in here. you guys out there having problems with putting these in and breaking them off, what I did is I ran a drill bit just a tad bit bigger than the hole to where it's still pressed in. So it was easier. Put 4 washers on there, and I used the nuts that go on here. And I had to tap just a little bit on the back with a hammer just to get it to preset the splines, and then ratchet slow with the ratchet wrench, and got them all to pull in. So I got them all in there, didn't break none. There was one left over. So if you had problems with that, it's an easy way to do it. Anti-rolls up in there, links are up in there, uppers are up in there, lows are in there. The sides welded on. Pretty good. The paint is that semi-flat. Some spots look a little, you know, you see all the imperfections in the housing, a little bit of run. But I mean, there's a lot of light on it right now with the garage door being open. But I am about to put the brakes on. Put all the brakes on. Get the center section, the pig, the third member, which is in the back of the truck, whatever, El Camino. Get that out, boom. Get it in there, but I got to blow that housing out. Put some silicone on there, which I'll put I'll scuff it where it goes in. Scuff it. I'll scuff the side of the pig so that way I can put some gasket maker on there, silicone, black RTD, whatever you want to call it. Get that on there, bolt it up. I got to get that in there before I put the shocks back on it because of the clearance of ride height. When the rear end's up here, it'd be hard as hell for me to get it in. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in right here. But yeah, everything's moving right along. I have this thing buttoned up here. I have it on the ground. But I'll get some more things buttoned up and be back. And I'm back. 68 El Camino. Bankroll Tim, bedded up. Let's see what I got going on underneath here. Booyah! Look at that bracing. Look at that rear end. Look at them wheels. Them brakes. Viking coilovers. Trick chassis anti-roll. Wheelwood brakes. Billets specialties on the wheels. I did not do the tubs. 24 by 12, 13 inches overall. 10-inch lifts. I'm gonna clean up the floor, set it down, see how far she's gonna squish. About 2 inches. And like I said, there's about an inch in there now. I said it would be 3 inches in, so we'll see how it looks. I did have to cut the outer tub out because, as you can see, the rotor is very close to the frame. So the wheelwood, this car, if you would have went with a bare brake setup, would have been a shorter offset. The shorter offset, then you could have narrowed the rear end a little more. But you can see where the rotor's at. And the rotor's even closer on this side, which it cleared once it, you know, sat down, and it's got the anti-roll. So the side to side, there's no way that's gonna lean and hit it. But that's gonna need to be full tubbed, which the tub job on it is not all bad. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to talk to the dude that did the tub. But anyway, look at that. And shit, like I said, you know you're doing something right when it tucks on the lift, you know? Suspension ain't hanging all goofy, that bolt and stuff. But all right, y'all, let me get it on, let me clean up the floor, get it on the ground, and I'll show you all on the ground. But one more quick setup. Look at the setup underneath, boom, bam, bing. This side. All right, y'all, I'll be back, but look at that fat ass right there. Let's see. Booyah. Be back in a minute. All right, y'all, it's done. It's windy out here. I'm gonna try to stop the wind on my mic. But booyah, look at that. 24 by 12. 10 inches of lip. Billets. Tucking about 4 inches. I had to change the lug nuts yet. I got some lug nuts that I just got. Boom. So yep, you guys seen it in the air. You can see it on the ground. Is that suspension porn or what? There it is, 68 El Camino. Streetcar headquarters out of Indiana. It's their build. Of course it's getting painted. Of course it's getting everything done. But there it is, y'all. 9-inch Viking coilovers. Wheelwood brakes. Narrowed coilovers. Rear suspension by me. Bankroll Tim. Batted up. And there we are, y'all. Look at how much lip's back there. 10 inches of lip. Billet Specialties. 24 by 12. 13 inches overall. With 10 inches of lip. Alright, y'all. Bankroll Tim. Batted up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all.